Hello, good people. Welcome to our show. Hello, bad people. Welcome to our show. Hello, anyone who wanna learn more about storytelling. Welcome. Today we are going to discuss more about that, how you can craft your story, how you can get results. Especially, we are going to touch more B2B and SaaS, so you will know how to get results. And I'm so excited to discuss this topic with Maero. Olori. How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I always happy to get great specialists on my podcast to learn from them because people think that I have this podcast to create brand awareness. No way. I'm learning. I'm student on this life. I need to learn to get new valuable insights, and especially in marketing, it's tough to stay generic. We need to craft our skills to find something
Yeah.
else, to search for new angles, how you can get great results. Before we start, just tell more about yourself, experience, background, and anything that can help our listeners to learn more about you.
Okay, that's great. So my name is Maero, as Anatoly said, and I'm a content marketer. I work with SaaS and MarTech brands, and I've sort of crafted a niche for myself in storytelling because I know that's something that's really connects with people. So I'm such a storytelling advocate. I've been writing creative content for a very long time, niched it down into SaaS, and I'm very excited to be here to talk about how brands can elevate their content with storytelling.
Awesome, awesome. I can't avoid one question. I love this question because I see books on your background and I love reading books. It's my loving resource of getting information, not blog posts, not podcasts, even books. Because uh, on books, we can get background of human psychology, why they buy, why something can impact to their decisions. Can you tell your loving books or and how often do you read these books? Because I still get the question that it's hard to find time, a lot of excuses why someone can't, but people watch 6 hours a day TV. It's a lot, guys. Instead of watching TV, you can read 6 hours of day books. Can you tell
Yeah.
books that can lead us in the new direction?
So that's a very great question. And I love how in recent times we have such diverse ways to read books. So beyond sitting down to read a physical book, you also have an audiobook, right? And so reading honestly is something that spurs from interest. So once you have curiosity about something, once you want to really learn about a topic, you know that you find most information, like in-depth information in the book, and you just have to find time. So it's something that is born out of curiosity, something that's born out of interest. You can't force it sometimes, but find something interesting and find something you're really curious about, and you will read a book. You will read a book.
Nice, nice. Okay, let's talk about creating story or crafting story or writing your story. Can you tell where to start? How to collect data? How to learn your readers, customers, and craft the story that people can't stop reading until the end?
So we have diverse ways of understanding our customers. For SaaS, you probably already have people using your products, people who have signed up for free trials or something. The best way to get data, I always say, is just to ask, right? So you can ask questions, ask in the email, you know, s- put up a webinar and invite your customers to come in and ask them questions. What do you think about our product? What's your biggest pain? What were you using to solve this particular problem before you use our product? These are ways you can get real time relevant data. And beyond that, we use sites like Quora. Quora is an amazing place to get data because lots of people are asking questions, and you also see the angles to which people are answering this question. So you can get a full understanding of the pain point of your customers and the kind of solutions that they're getting as well.
Awesome, awesome. Love it. Maira, can you tell about difference between B2B and B2C when you craft your story? What kind of difference can you feel it? And because in B2B, we need to touch human beings as well, but decision
Yeah.
makers who can uh, transfer data to others, stakeholders. So tell your how to differentiate B2C and B2B.
Okay, so for B2B storytelling, like Anatoly said, you're speaking to people who are making decisions for businesses. So you're not only crafting a story that talks to them personally, you're telling them a story that shows them how your product or service can actually solve their business problems and can help them achieve their business goals. While for B2C, your storytelling is primarily just talking to the audience. You're telling them this is how I can help you. So B2B is mainly how can I solve your business goals? How can my product, come in and revolutionize lies your issues, while B2C is basically, you're an individual and I want to help you personally. You don't have to make any tough decisions. You don't have to necessarily meet anybody else, but it's just you that needs to make the decision. And how can I touch you personally to make that decision?
Awesome, awesome. And how to write the story that people can read until the end? I love books that were written before digital. Because
Mm,
authors of these books didn't try to satisfy algorithms. They try to satisfy people. And today, all algorithms
yeah,
serve human being. And for example, Joe Sugarman wrote on his book. By the way, it's a great book about writing, how to retain the audience until the end. When you how to craft a story that people can't stop reading. And when I read his book, I couldn't stop to read this book because it's amazing. So tell how to retain as much as possible.
okay, so that's a great question. The way you can use storytelling to retain your customers is by making the story about them and about your product. So don't make the story about you. Don't say how great your product is or how many downloads you've gotten in 1 month, but let it be about the problem that you're trying to solve, because people can only stay when they can resonate with something. I mean, I'm sure anyone here has read a blog post or something, and after reading, they're like, oh my God, you really understand what I'm going through. And with that, they would want to know more about your products and how you can help them. So make the story about them. When you're starting your introduction, start with the pain points, because these customers want to know that you understand. They don't want you to just be any other company trying to not sell but sell to them. They want to know that you actually understand, you actually feel, what they have felt. So start with the pain points. Let your story go around your customer. Let it be like, this is where what you're facing right now, and this is where you can be by the end of this book or by the end of this article.
Yeah, I agree. And I often review LinkedIn profiles, and it's the main issue when profiles are selfish. So owners of these profiles don't care about uh, customers. They wanna
Yeah.
highlight how they are great. Nobody cares. You can be greater than Elon Musk, but everyone wants to become great, and you need to make your customer hero. You need to help your
Yeah.
customer to become great. Can you tell how to do it? How to create this feeling to customers that you care about customers and wanna help your customer first, then to tell how your company is great.
Okay, so great. Yeah. So one thing you really need to get right is in your content research, because once you can really identify the underlying pain of your customer, then you can speak to that. Many a times we have an idea of what our customers might be going through, but you need to understand that there's like primary pain and there's secondary pain. There's a pain that is as a result of something else. So you need to really dig deep to understand what is the primary thing, what is my customer afraid of, what exactly are they trying to, achieve. And once you can get that, you can now speak about it. You can, as we're talking about storytelling, so craft a story. You can bring up a name like um Ella was trying to reach out to customers. She was getting real traffic on her blog, but when she used this particular product, she saw an increase. Then you go on to talk about how exactly that change occurred because people are really looking for, like you said, you're not interested in how great your company is. Yeah, that helps later on, but really they just want to know, can you solve my problem? Do you understand what I'm going through? Can you solve it? And they want to know, can your product solve this problem? So first thing, get your content research right, ask questions, search through, get the data right, and find the actual pain point of your customers, then openly talk about it and show how your product has helped other people solve that problem.
Awesome. Yeah, valuable, valuable. Um, I wanna ask you about creating sales funnel, customers journey, because many brands chase high volume, but it doesn't mean that you can get more traffic, then you can get more customers. Sometimes it's bad, not sometimes, often, always to start with a high volume and
Oh, you're muted.
yeah, something happened with my microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, and tell your methods how to create sales funnel.
Okay, so that's actually so great. So you need to understand that with storytelling, you're not trying to appease, a particular structure, right? Because many a times customers don't realize that they're actually going through a funnel, right? All they know is that they have a problem and they search on Google or any search engine, what is the solution to this problem? And they stumble upon an article and they find an answer. That's all they know. So I really try not to structure storytelling or getting customers into a particular funnel. I mean, the sales funnel is amazing, but I try not to you know um let the stories telling go through that. So what I usually tell brands is that, when you're creating content for the awareness stage, right? Tell people about the problem that they're facing, yes, but also let's you know let them be aware of your product, because something that a lot of brands are very guilty of is that they write articles and they don't talk about their products at all. you know People get this wrong where yeah, I'm talking about storytelling and I'm telling stories to my customers, and they focus fully on the customers, but they don't even talk about their product at all. But the best part of storytelling for SaaS is that you're able to show how your product can solve you know customer issues. So in the awareness stage, you can put screenshots, of walking your customers through how to use your product. In the interest stage, make it more because they're already interested in whatever you're showing them. So you're putting case studies out, put actual stories of what people have gone through using your products and all of that. So that's how you can go through the sales funnel using storytelling.
Awesome. And can you tell more about call to action? If we speak about articles, content marketing, we need to submit call to action. So tell how to do it right.
Okay, that's so great because I see that a lot of articles or brands really need to step up their call to action. So many a times I see articles that they just write an article and they put the call to action like sign up for this product at the end, right? But what you're meant to do is that you're meant to actually kind of insert call to actions in your article as things go by, not call to actions that are going to take your reader away from your article completely, but things that actually make them want to sign up. So you could put like a free trial or something that doesn't scare them away, right? So a good call to action should be in your article. Insert it into your article, and at the end of your article, put a call to action saying that, okay, yeah, I've told you about the problem, you have seen how to solve it. Why don't you try it with this particular product that can easily help you solve the problem? You have 7 days, 14 days, 1 month free trial. You don't have to sign up for a credit card. Why don't you try it and see for yourself? And one amazing thing about including call to actions in your article this way is that once you've told the story about how your product can solve issues, and you input screenshots and reviews, when your customer signs up with your call to actions, they already kind of know how to use your product because they're familiar, with what you showed them already. So call to actions are very, very powerful in storytelling, and you should really strategically put it in between your articles and also at the end.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. I love your energy. Can you tell your resource of energy where you get this resource? I mean, like to stay energetic, to share value with clients, customers.
How to stay energetic?
Yeah, and yeah, because I see your energy, I can feel your energy. So tell how I can get
Yeah.
the same resource of energy.
Honestly, it comes from passion. It comes
Mhm,
from having like a very sincere passion to see people, get better at what you're doing. If as a founder of a SaaS company, you have actual passion for your customers or for the products you're giving out, that energy is actually really going to be seen in your content as well. Because you're like, you don't understand this. I really want you to understand so you can really get better at it. So that's where the energy comes from. It's from
mhm.
sincere passion.
Awesome, awesome. Love it, love it. Um, I'm interested about SEO. If we speak about text-based content, we need to satisfy users and search engines as well. So tell your methods how to do it right.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm back.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Something happened with connection before. So tell your methods how to optimize for search engines, specifically Google.
Okay, so first of all, the purpose of content is to add value to customers.
Mhm,
So even Google in their ranking factors, they always tell, blogs to prioritize adding value to your customers. I see a lot of times people are so interested in ranking or in being the first page of Google, which is amazing. But you should always remember like the first thing when you're creating content is this is for someone, a human being who is actually going to read this, right? So you can follow the SEO best practices by inserting the keywords that are needed in your blog post in strategic areas. And something I always love to say is that no one will come to you if they don't know about you. And that's the amazing thing about SEO. You want your content to be discoverable, right? So strategically place your keywords and frame your topics in a way that customers will ask questions, right? So if someone is searching what is the best email marketing service, you should frame your content in a way that says, oh, these are the 10 best email marketing services you should look for. So frame your H2s, your H3s in ways that customers are asking those questions and they can easily find your content. But always remember that the first person who matters is not search engines, but your readers.
nice. Uh, I want to ask about one aspect that often is ignored in creating content. For example, I love reading books. You love read books as well, but and book offers usually have plus 5 editors. Some book offers have like 15 editors, a lot of. Some can check Grammarly, other editors can check readability, simplicity, inspirational, many things. But in content creation, if we speak about blog content, it's hard to find a lot of editors to and sometimes it doesn't make sense to have this
Yeah.
team of editors. Tell how it's important to give content at least to one editor from your experience.
Okay. Yeah, so it's very important to have like not a lot of people work on your content because everyone comes with their own ideas about how something should be. As much as you probably have a style guide or a content brief and you communicate your vision or your ideas, individuals are different and the approach they take is very different. So you need to, as much as possible, minimize the amount of eyes or the amount of hands that go on your content so that you can still keep the value, the initial value that the writer put in to the content, right? So it's very important that you also as much as possible keep the same editor over all the content on your blogs because over time they get to understand the purpose of the content, how that content is helping you drive your business goals, how your customers react to that content as well. So it's really important that find someone who can understand these things, is very very good, can work with writers really well, and can even collaborate easily with writers and understand their ideas that they're bringing into the content as well. Yeah.
Something connection today. I don't know what's going on. I hope everything will be fine. It happens. I have strong connection, but today I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's go.
Fine.
Let's go ahead, and I wanna ask about priorities. For example, I see a big issue when companies create a huge list of topics. For example, plus 100 topics or plus 10,000 keywords. It's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you have limited resources. So tell how you choose priorities because we can't create a lot of content at scale if we speak about quality, and quality is
Yeah.
the most important element. But if you need quality, you need to spend time to craft this content. So tell your methods how to choose content ideas that will bring more results.
Great. So the key word in this is relevance. How relevant is this content to your business goals and to your customers? What brands should ask themselves, and what I usually do is how easily can you impute your product as the solution in this particular content idea? Right? So an email marketing service, for example, shouldn't really try to rank for, let's say, a real estate topic because, it's not easy to put your content and to put your product in front and say, oh, hey, by the way, this is a product that can help you, So relevance, how relevant is it to your business, to your products? Can you easily showcase your product and will it actually easily, connect with your customers. So that's one major thing I use when trying to pick topic relevance. Pick something that is really going to showcase your product and build authority on that topic. Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Oh,
can.
not back. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, uh, I want to ask about AI. Um, it's hard
Um,
to ignore AI today. That was simple, but impossible tomorrow. And
yeah,
it's important to consider AI. I cooperate with many great writers who can post on Forbes, Investopedia, many great resources, and all of them use AI. I'm not against AI, but if you don't use it smart, you can't get quality content. So tell your methods
yeah.
how to use AI to increase speed, quality, and still have high quality content.
Great. So first of all, I think I should say know what to use AI for and know what not to use AI for. The popular tool, that's around is ChatGPT. And one amazing way to actually get the most out of ChatGPT is to understand prompt engineering. So, crafting quality prompts will definitely give you quality output. And that's something that every B2B content marketer should know how to do. So I would always advise you spend time learning how to craft quality prompts, like giving ChatGPT a role or persona to take, adding context or information, giving it examples. That's one way to get the most out of ChatGPT. Also, always understand that ChatGPT cannot give you accurate information all the time. If you're looking for a statistic or facts, do not use AI for that, because sometimes they formulate facts and give you. And if you put that in your content, it doesn't look good at all. It does not look good at all. So know that you shouldn't use ChatGPT or AI for statistics or facts when you want to put that in your content, but use it to brainstorm. ChatGPT can really help you get your ideas structured, or can help the ideas come flowing. Use it to brainstorm. Sometimes you can use ChatGPT to frame your thoughts into actual constructive text, right? So if you're doing a brain dump and you just need to type whatever you're thinking on Google Doc or something, copy that into ChatGPT or any AI tool you use and ask it to structure your thoughts into something that people can actually read. But every single time you do that, make sure you fact check, make sure you go ahead to edit it, and make sure that you add personality and stories, because that is what people are going to connect with. I haven't really seen an AI tool that speaks so much like a human, that can actually tell, write content that pushes someone to take action, or pushes someone to, have an emotional decision. So make sure that you don't use AI as a replacement, but use it as an assistant. That's something you should always remember with AI, because like you said, it's here and it's not going anywhere, right? But neither are we. It's not going to take over. We have to always impute originality and authenticity. So yeah, you can use AI in your content, but make sure that it doesn't replace your voice, your ideas, or your tone.
Yeah, valuable. Love it. Love it. Uh, I wanna ask about how to be creative. I think it's important to stand out from the rest and to create something new. It's hard. It's hard because many competitors, a lot of ideas, but and digital is overwhelmed and overpriced. Well, but anyway, if you want to get results, you need to be creative. Can you tell your methods how to stand out from the rest, but consider user intent? Because I see it's a gap. It's even hook when content creators take new topics. They usually check top 10 results, analyze competitors, and create the same content,
Yeah.
but in another words. So how to stand out from the rest, but don't forget about users.
Great. So you can draw inspiration from the company you're working with, or the company you're working for, because as much as tools are almost the same, the company values are not the same. So get inspiration from the company values, get inspiration from the primary purpose that this product is solving, right? And use that to stand out. Another thing is always let your personality show in your writing. I mean, we're so many different people, we think differently. As much as we look at search results, don't let that be like your standard. I feel like content marketers should be looking at search results just to see, how the format is, or see the information, but never copy and paste. I tell you, I have done tried to do research about the topic, and I opened two different articles from two different companies, and they were exactly the same, and I was very disappointed. So never, use another blog post as your standard. Just use it to get information or get ideas of what they're doing right to make them rank. But draw inspiration from the company values, draw inspiration from the kind of customer they're trying to reach out to, draw inspiration from yourself, from your own personality, and let that show in your writing. Because honestly, someone is going to stay in your page because they like the way you do things, not because they like the way someone else does So always keep that in mind.
Awesome, awesome. Uh, let's talk about mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. I keep doing them, and it's the best way how to go ahead to learn. Because if you uh, usually do the same, you can't be innovative, you can't be creative. But if you
Yeah.
try something new, you can fail, and I fail a lot. I fail a lot, but can adapt to measure what I got to go ahead. So tell your mistakes that you made and how you can learn from them.
Okay, so I believe one mistake I've made earlier in my career, and especially about storytelling, is this statement that we hear all the time: show, don't tell. And, it's very popular, but some mistakes I've made before is actually telling, not showing. So I might come across a product and I might say, okay, this is a problem and this is the product and this is what it can do. But I learned along the way that customers kind of back out when you just, put something out there, but what they want is like they want you to show them how this product is going to solve their problem. So you can put a screenshot, okay, you can put a video and say, okay, so you want to send an onboarding email to your new hires. This is how this product did that for someone else, and this is and visually they can see themselves using that product to solve their problem. So that's one mistake I made earlier, and I learned from it. And now I always tell people and advocate for it, that in B2B SaaS, show, don't tell actually means showing people how they fit in, or showing them how your product fits into their business lives or their day-to-day lives.
Awesome, awesome. Let's talk about your experience. I have students in my network who are looking for ways how to learn from scratch. I have customers who want to get the basic before jumping in any niche. And yeah, I usually get good results with customers who understand what I do. So if customers understand why we need to create high quality content, why it's
Yeah.
important to think more about getting traffic value than more traffic, many things, we can get great results. If customers think that experts, writers, authors, content creators can decide everything instead of them, they are wrong. We need to cooperate together to understand each other. So tell, if you started today from scratch without any experience, knowledge, skills, what will you do today if you start from zero?
That's a great question. And so, what I would do first is to actually look out and get knowledge, right? So, there's so many courses on content marketing that really explain deeply the value of content in relation to business goals. One of the certifications I took was HubSpot's content marketing course. And if I had to go back, I definitely would go back and take that course just to have an understanding. I mean, anyone can take that course, whether you're a business owner or you're a student who wants to go into content marketing. It's really versatile, and you will understand why content marketers exist and why content is an amazing tool for driving business growth. Another thing I would do is to actually try. You can't really understand something unless you actually try it. So once you've gotten the information, you go out and try and create content and actually, see the metrics, see if it's working, and try something else and try something else until you find what works for you and what works for your company.
Awesome, awesome. And I have my final question about the future. For me, it's unpredictable. I'm so bad to predict the future. I tried a few times, I failed, uh, but I usually adapt and move fast. If something happens, so I know I need to go ahead, or just stay in something that I have if it works. Uh, I want to ask how you can see the future in B2B SaaS storytelling, and how people can adapt to this possible future.
Okay, for B2B SaaS storytelling, more and more I see that customers actually really don't want to be sold to, but they really want to know that you care. before they even care about your product, right?
It's
So
present.
I see yeah. So I see a future where, B2B SaaS founders really need to pay attention, the content marketers really need to pay attention to connection with their target audience, okay, in different ways. And how you can adapt to it is really just, you know, trying things out. Why don't you talk more about what your customers are going through? Why don't you see how you can really display your products as the solution and not just as any other SaaS tool that they come across, right? So this is what I'll tell you. The future is storytelling. And one thing I think I just want to demystify something. When people hear storytelling, usually they think about, folk tales or fairies, but storytelling in B2B SaaS, like we've established already here, is you putting your customer as the hero of your story and showing them plainly how your products can solve that particular problem. Okay, so that's what I think the future is going to. And in the case of AI, because the future is AI right now, you can use AI to also help you craft story ideas, but make sure that you fine tune it to fit your goals and your customers as well.
Awesome, awesome. Love it, love it. It's a big pleasure to get on the show, to learn from you. So valuable. Tell the best way how to keep learning from you, how to reach out to you, how to follow you.
So you can find me on LinkedIn at Maero Olori, and my website as well, where I try to post, you know, quality content for people to keep on learning. So those are the two places that you can definitely reach out to me where I post content regularly.
Nice, nice, guys. You can find links in the description below. Listen us on Apple, Google, Spotify. I recommend to anyone to follow my era on LinkedIn because I follow, and you need to do it as well if you wanna become a better marketer and storyteller as well. Okay, guys, love you. See you.